Today I wanted to make a quick video on Microsoft as they have just announced their earnings and the stock is down almost 8% after hours. So we'll go over Microsoft's numbers, but I also want to touch on how this announcement could affect Nvidia. Again, this will be a quick little video, so if you enjoy, drop a like down below, and if you want to see more videos like this one, make sure to subscribe. Microsoft had a very interesting day because the stock was down only about 1% leading into their earnings announcement. However, after they announced, it fell by almost 8%. It's recovered in the last little bit of time, now down only about 3.5% after hours. And this downward move in the stock price comes around specific numbers because they came through with basically meets for the top and bottom line, reporting $2.95 of EPS and revenue coming in at $64.73 billion. Both of these were just in line with analyst expectations. And even though Microsoft came in and met analyst expectations, they have consistently beat expectations over the last 3 quarters, beating on EPS by 3%, almost 6%, and then 13% back in September of 2023. Revenue, they've also came through with solid beats over the last 3 quarters, beating by 1.5% the last 2 quarters and 3.5% back in September. And there is a certain amount of Microsoft being priced to perfection. When you're talking about a company that consistently beats numbers and puts up high growth rates, and all of a sudden that slows slightly, oftentimes investors can be turned off from that. We can see that revenue at $64.7 billion is actually an increase of 15% year over year. Net income also came in at $22 billion, which was an increase of 10% year over year. And then diluted earnings per share came in again at $2.95, and that was also a 10% increase year over year. The issue came in around Microsoft's cloud business, which quarterly revenue came in at $36.8 billion, which was up 21% year over year. And to be even more specific, the problem came in around their intelligent cloud sector, which brought in revenue of $28.5 billion for the quarter and is up about 19% year over year. And 19% growth year over year is a fantastic growth rate. That is very solid. However, analysts were expecting them to put up $28.68 billion of revenue for their intelligent cloud sector, so they missed these expectations slightly. Honestly, when I look at this earnings report, I do not see anything that concerns me. I think there is nothing with the business that has fundamentally changed, and right now the market is just looking for specific reasons to send stocks lower. In Microsoft's case, the stock has been falling over the last month. It's down almost 10% since the 5th of July. So really the market is just trying to find these small things to latch onto and send stocks lower. What I actually found most interesting about this earnings report is a comment from the CFO, Amy Hood. She said that demand for Azure AI services remained higher than available capacity. And a comment like this from Microsoft sent Nvidia's stock up over 8% after hours, after the stock had fallen 7% during the normal trading day. And if you think about it, this makes a lot of sense. If Microsoft is coming out and saying that they do not have enough capacity to meet the demand that they're seeing for their AI products, ultimately what that means is they are going to need to buy more chips from companies like Nvidia or Nvidia themselves to actually supply this demand. And comments like this may help turn around Nvidia's stock because it has fallen over 23% since early July. So when I see these drops in both Microsoft and Nvidia, I think that there could be a small opportunity now to add a few shares, especially if you got in around all-time highs for these companies. It wouldn't be bad to start lowering your cost basis and buy a few more shares. Especially when it comes to Microsoft, I do not see anything that has fundamentally changed with their business from this earnings report. I think it's still a very solid company, and Microsoft doesn't dip very often by very much. So when you can find them on a dip, it's always an opportunity to buy a few more shares. Nvidia is still a little bit in an unknown territory where I think there could be potential for more downside because of how much the stock has ran up. But that's more of a question of time, and we'll see their earnings reported here in a month or so, and that'll be a good indicator for where the business is headed in the future. So with that said, I do own shares of Microsoft. However, I do not own shares of Nvidia. So keep that in mind. Do not buy a company just because I talked about it here on YouTube. Make sure you are doing your own research and looking into companies that meet your risk tolerance as well as your time horizon. I hope hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like down below. And if you want to see more videos like this one, make sure to subscribe. And as always, guys, have a wonderful rest of your day. And for the joke of the day, what do you call a man wearing a rug on his head? Check the comments down below for the answer. Thanks for watching.